Hi everyone, Helen Blunden here. Hope you're happy, healthy and well. It is time for a new book review. And in today's book review, I'm going to talk about a book that you may already have known about. It has got a lot of reviews online from a well-known author, and this is her latest novel, sprawling and quite immersive novel called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, Taylor is an American author. She's written about 8 books, and when I saw that she wrote Daisy Jones and Six, I had heard about this book, but I had never read it. So this is the very first book I have read from this author. And in fact, I don't usually read books on, I guess, the current bestsellers or the current fiction novels, given that I just prefer to read books that have been out for a little while. But in fact, this has been out. It was published in 2017, but there's just a lot of chatter online about it. I came across this book because a very wonderful girlfriend of mine sent me this big massive A3 poster of all the top 100 books that anyone should read. This book was on it, and she said to me, "You've got to read this book because you'll love it. You'll be completely immersed into the story. You'll read it. You won't be able to put it down." And she was right. I couldn't put this down. It was an immersive story. It was, every time I did kind of pick it up to go get a cup of coffee or whatever, come back, I would be immersed completely in it. What is this book about? It looks quite spectacular with a green dress. I mean, the front cover looks great. This book has a lot of themes in it, and there's a story that completely immerses us into it. And I had to think really hard as to why this story immersed me into it, given that normally in real life, if there was a star or a celebrity, I don't pretty much care about what celebrities do, but for some reason this sucked me in. And what is this book about? It is a book about Monique, who is a young woman. She's a journalist, and she gets asked by Evelyn Hugo, who is a major celebrity in Hollywood, to write her memoirs. And it comes out of the blue because Monique had just written one article, and all of a sudden she gets asked by this very famous person to write her memoirs, and she feels as if that there is an underlining story there that she doesn't know about, which is the clincher that we find out right at the end, which I didn't see coming. So there's a secret there. So what we find out is Evelyn was a very beautiful woman who was very, I guess obsessed is not the word, but she was interested in making her own way through Hollywood. She was beautiful. She was the it girl. She was it. But over the years, she had 7 husbands. Each of them, there was a reason as to why she married them. And this story is about Evelyn recounting the stories around those 7 husbands to Monique, who was going to write her memoirs. Monique also, the other story, is biracial. Evelyn as well, as she talks about the story of each of her relationships, we soon find out that out of her 7 husbands, there is someone that she truly loved deeply and more fondly than anyone else. And it wasn't a man. Now, I'm not going to say any spoilers. That was, I guess, the one big thing, that Evelyn, being a bisexual, falls in love with Celia, who is another star of Hollywood, who's a lesbian. So this story is about a beautiful love between 2 women who cannot and could not oust themselves at a time in the 50s, 60s, 70s, with this relationship. So the story is really about love in all its different forms. It's love between 2 women. It is love between males and females. It is love between mother and daughter. So we get Monique and her mother. It is love between daughter and father, with Monique and her father. It is a story about love between husbands and wives. So there are big themes in here around love, relationships, the importance of family. There are themes around patriarchy and what women need to do, not only in their jobs, but in their home life, in their marriage, to appease the patriarchy. There is also the elements of the biracial element as well, all interspersed with this storyline of awe, and that awe comes from the Hollywood stardom, peaking on our, I guess, obsession and interest with what celebrities do, what they wear, what's going on in their lives and so forth. So I found that element immersive, all interspersed by some snippets of some tabloids. Like this is an example where you would get the snippets of what the tabloids would be talking about over each of the relationships. So kind of rare to see if in real life, we always want to find out, what celebrities are doing. Not that I really care what they're doing, but it was written in such a way that it sucked you right in. But there are a lot of themes there. We're talking a lot of themes around family, relationships and love, all interspersed between a timeline of the different ages about what life was like in the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s. Now, what lesson did I get out of this one? This is really interesting. To me, whether I read a story about love, whether it's love between a male and female, male, female, for me, it's neither here nor there. I'm more interested in the storyline and the fact that these kind of big emotions, these big feelings happen regardless of what gender. So for me, actually, though, the biggest thing I was thinking about was what Evelyn did. Was she a likable character or wasn't she a likable character? And I must admit, like reading some of the reviews, people felt not sorry for Evelyn, but they kind of realized that she had to do what she had to do at that time. But I'm not of that opinion. I didn't find Evelyn that likable, in all honesty. And certainly one thing that she did, which I'm not going to say here, was one thing that I found completely abhorrent. And the way that she approached and the reason why she asked Monique to write her memoirs, it's something that I couldn't abide by. If I was Monique, I would have told her to F off, regardless of the monetary payment that was coming her way. Maybe not. I don't know. There was a lot of money there. So I was left thinking, did Evelyn do the right thing? Or could she have approached it in another way? So I'm not questioning how she approached and worked with Monique. I'm questioning this one action that she did in her past, which I couldn't put down and I couldn't accept her for it. And it's got nothing to do with sexuality at all. It's got something to do with ethical and moral actions. So that is what I got out of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I will definitely read Taylor Jenkins' Read again, simply because sometimes you need a book that will immerse you in and just kind of have a bit of an escape. Something that doesn't make you think too much. But this book made me think one particular aspect as to whether Evelyn was good or bad morally or ethically as to what she did in that past at that point in time. That's it. That's all I have to say for this review, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Bye for now.